Just like with anything you want to improve in, practice is going to help you become better. And practicing art looks a lot like working in your sketchbook. So let's talk about some exercises that can help you fill those sketchbooks. First of all, I'm always tempted to buy beautiful leather-bound sketchbooks with high quality paper, and then I feel very intimidated about filling them with just kind of whatever. So buy a sketchbook that is not intimidating. This is just a cheap sketchbook. I think it was $15, not on sale even, and it's full of pages that I can fill up. One exercise that's great is doing a blind contour, and that's when you're looking at something and you're not looking at your drawing at all. So you end up with a crazy drawing usually, but what it does is it works on your hand-eye coordination. This drawing is of my field watercolor box. The next one is drawing with your non-dominant hand, and I'm drawing this clutch eraser with my left hand, and it just works some different hand-eye coordination muscles and can give you a totally different look. I even wrote with my left hand. The next one is doing some composition studies, and just fill your page with some squares, rectangles, and you can do anything from landscapes to portraits to abstracts to still life. I did kind of a mix of a little bit of everything. And these are not only compositional studies, but I am also playing with value, also using these Copic grayscale markers. You can do this in pencil and paints, really with any kind of medium. And it's just a fun way to sort of play and explore with different composition ideas. This one is doing a continuous line drawing, so I don't ever lift my pencil up off of the paper. And what this does is it forces you, just like with the blind contour, to really work on your hand-eye coordination. Of course, I do lift my pencil up a few times so I can get some more lead out, and then I put it right back where it was. But I'm doing a study of a Percy Gray painting, and these line drawings turn out so interesting. And I'm someone who kind of struggles with abstracting shapes, and doing these continuous line drawings helps me do that. This next one is a value study of the same painting. And I'm using a really thick clutch pencil so that I can just be messy and focus on the large shapes and the values, what's light and what's dark in this painting. And again, this helps me focus on just big shapes, composition, and also the values. Another exercise I like to do is go back through and just add a little watercolor wash to some of my paintings. And I'll do this when I want to work in my sketchbook, but I'm not feeling particularly inspired. Color wheels and color charts are another fantastic exercise to learn on working with color, and also just to fill your sketchbook with some beautiful inspirational palettes. I just picked a few colors that were warm and cool out of my color palette and did a color wheel, and then painted sort of a little abstract kind of a landscape with those colors, and then also played with mixing the colors as well and painting a few little swatches. I could do color charts all day, and here's a few other examples of color charts that I've done. Anytime I get a new paint or watercolor palette, I like to make swatches of the colors. Another exercise is mark making, and I'm using 3 different kinds of writing or painting instruments. The first one was a flat pencil, the second one is just a graphite F pencil, and the third is watercolor and a round brush. And I'm doing the same kind of marks with each and just seeing how they differ. The next exercise is painting one thing 4 different ways, or drawing it. So I did an artichoke in watercolor, pen and ink, a flat pencil, and just a regular graphite sketch pencil. And I did this from life. This exercise is about shape and form. So I drew a few circles, which is great to practice, just drawing like circles, ovals, triangles, rectangles, squares, all of those shapes, and some irregular shapes as well. And then just adding some basic shading. And I did it in pencil, pen and ink, and watercolor. I sort of botched the watercolor, but that's fine. It's a sketchbook. One of the other things I enjoy doing, I actually love doing master studies. So this is a study of a Bert Morisot painting, and I did it in watercolor and pencil, and actually there's a full video of this on my YouTube tutorial if you're interested in painting this watercolor study. But master studies are a great way to learn from artists who are known for being just excellent in a specific discipline or style. I always learn so much from studies. This next exercise is doing a painting or a drawing, touching the canvas or paper a limited number of times. So I did this little study of an asparagus still life in 36 touches. I only touched the brush to the paper 36 times. And it really requires you to think about the larger shapes of what you're painting, and also to focus just on not getting too detailed. An exercise that's very similar is just focusing on time. So this is a 5-minute timed study of a landscape. And again, this helps you to focus on just the large shapes and values and the overall composition, so you're not getting too stuck on the details and you just don't have time to overthink. I did both of these studies in oil, and then I'll let them dry and tape them into my sketchbook. When I feel completely stuck when it comes to drawing or painting, I like to do little collages with vintage papers and things that inspire me, like textures, fabrics, ribbons, and that also will fill up my sketchbook in a way that is just a little bit different. And here are some recent examples. These are some landscape studies I did for composition, and just some studies of trees I saw outside of my window, just very loose with a graphite pencil, and then doing a watercolor study and a line study. So I hope this video gives you a lot of ideas for filling up your sketchbook and inspires you to get drawing and painting.